be married to the person you had kids with. It could just be like a good friend of yours. Y'all have kids together. Y'all still got that friendship bond and just help each other with the baby sometimes.
How much of a role are entertainers, rappers, actors play in detriment of our position?
Music and film and images control the cultural movement of a people and a nation. The image, the music, the dress code, the fashion, all of it controls and manipulates the mind of the people. As soon as they lock into it, you are writing on them what to do. It's a very deep subconscious thing.
I'm trying to get my coochie scratched. I'm trying to get my coochie scratched. Everybody always be saying, what do you mean when you say you're trying to get your coochie scratched? What you saying? He's scratching my itch, like it feels good. So you know what I'm saying? That's what scratch means.
Like I'm Young Miami. I love when a nigga me.
With my mug on me.
On me, my mouth. Let me on his mouth. Let me your mouth in your face.
She belongs to the streets.
Suck it, Hana. She brings people in her energy that is foul. She invites this on herself.
This degeneracy, this debauchery, this, objectification of women, the sexualization of young girls.
And this was what gets me about black men. You go back to Trina, Little Kim, there was always a thought element to the gangster rap or gangster pimp culture that black men created in the black community. Okay? So where you see the gangster rappers or the Snoop Dogg, the pimps of the industry, talking about their bees and their hoes, there's always been that female element who are the hoes, whereas the black men are the gangsters and the pimps who owns and controls the hoes of the industry. So what is gangster culture, if you will, has been normalized and popularized and has become black culture. So gangster culture, dealing with gangsters and pimps and hoes, have become popularized. And now what we're seeing is what they have created. And this is the new black culture. The old black culture used to be Barry Gordy, and I know he has a shady past, but Barry Gordy at least cared about the public perception of the artists. So he hired charm school trainers, if you will, for the women. And even today, those women are some of the most iconic women in American history. I mean, Diana Ross is a freaking living legend. The Supremes were a living legend. They crossed barriers because of the training that Barry Gordy hired for them to make sure their image was pristine. We went from that culture to this culture where it's run by pimps, gangsters who are basically pimping their hoes to the public because they're making a lot of money pimping black women. But this is what they do. They throw the rock and they hide their hands. Look at how these black women are acting. But in the background, they're the one forcing these black women to do this or paying them to do this. At the end of the day, these black women make their own decisions. I know Sukiana was crying years ago about how she sold her soul to the devil. She did not know what she was signing when she signed her contract. And right now she is fulfilling that contract that she was crying about a couple of years ago. So when these people are in front of you and they be thrown at you, they gradually degraded to this. And if we don't say anything about it now, it's going to get even worse. I don't know how it can get worse than this, but it will get worse. Because we went from Little Kim and black women up here, lauding and oh, Little Kim, she got bars. Oh, Little Kim was nasty. Okay, that Little Kim was my era's version of Sukiana and the pink booty hole woman. Okay, so it's just going to continue to get worse. Now black culture has become gang, pimp, and hoe culture. And this is what's being fed to the next generation. Gang, pimp, and hoe culture, led and backed and created by black men. But they want to throw the rocks and hide their hands. Look at how these women are acting. Who's behind there? Who's backing their record deals? Who's paying them to act like this? Who's paying them to destroy the image of the black woman?
Is being pushed.
Twerking on your baby daddy, he finna lick my booty, my wet. I need a penny line.
That old bitch, oh, you know it's wet. Never heard that my wet. I did and I throw it back.
Other people who are young women listening to this content, singing these lyrics thinking it's cool, you get a sexy red when you normalize that behavior.
Finna shake this, cause my bills is due. I'm Kayla man and I'm Kiki's too.
What she is saying in her music is no different than what any other female rapper is saying. They're all objectifying themselves. They all talk about themselves like props. They all basically are only talking about their vagina lips and who got the wetter.
So the responsibility of the artist is, again, you're not doing it for yourself. You're not going to a whole packed out stadium to perform for you. You don't even realize sometimes how influential you are as an artist. You don't even think you're that important. Artist is the most dangerous person on the planet.
Yeah.
The most dangerous. That's why the enemy is so heavily invested in making sure you controlled and contained.
Greetings.
Yeah, the call is coming from inside the house, though. We can keep blaming the enemy, and yes, the overall infrastructure, the people who own like Sony and Apple, the big wigs, yes, they're going to make their money. But it's the black men who are being paid to pay and push black women to do this and behave like this. Okay, so we went from the crossover artists being the face of black women, like the Whitney Houstons and Anita Bakers, and those classy, beautiful, classy black women went from being the face of black women image in entertainment to the outright hoes. Because that's where they are being pimped. They are hoes being pimped by their pimps. Now, these are the faces of black women. So, who is the real enemy? The big record deal labels that are going to make their money anyway? Or the black men who are pimping these women and actively destroying the image of the black woman? Okay, so y'all get these women to sign these contracts, and when they sign the contracts, they don't really know what they're signing. They just think they're going to get some money to pay their bills. And then all of a sudden, like Sukiana was crying a few years ago, didn't really realize what she was signing. The calls are coming from inside the house. The enemy is within. So stop blaming the white man or the enemy. The enemy is the black man. He created this disgusting culture. And he is paying and scaring women into continuing this nasty, disgusting culture. And then throwing the rock. And look at this in this video. Look at what these women are doing. hiding the hand.
Polite savages, and welcome to another Tip Talk. The first thing I learned in business school was perception is reality when you're dealing with folks. The perception of your company, the perception of yourself, the perception of your intent is reality. Whether you want to believe it or not, you can sit here and say what I do does not affect the entire company, but it's absolutely untrue. And believe it or not, our generation, we are involved in this company because the company we are keeping, the company we are endorsing is showing negativity. And this is what we're fighting against. I get it in the comments all the time. What are you folks doing? Oh, you just corny. You just old fuddy-duddies. Oh, you were tearing up back in the day. And I say it repeatedly over and over again. But the image is personified far more than it was back in the day.
You got kids?
I don't have any yet. I gotta find a wife, yeah.
A wife. So you ain't on a wife to have some kids?
I guess I could just get a baby mama, but do you think it's a better way to do it?
If you want to get it over, like, you don't got to be married to the person you had kids with.
Why is it that the cry today is don't get married, hang loose, and the laws are going to take care of those philosophies? But it's all, that's really what it is. It's American going to take us to a death stage because children are involved. What's more important than that man and woman's relationship is when they lay down with each other at night spiritually and physically communicate their bodies with and become one. And that life comes from that moment.
I don't know, it could just be like a good friend of yours. Y'all have kids together, y'all still got that friendship bond and just help each other with the baby sometimes. Wife with a kid is not bad, but it's not bad also if you was to have a kid with somebody that you in love with or something. That ain't bad.
If that man and that woman does not have their life and their philosophies intact, that child is gonna suffer. So he'll grow up at 21 and come in your house, Jay, where you and your wife is communicating and blow your damn brains out, brother.
When children look at it, they see it, they start walking the same way, talking the same way, rapping the same way, carrying them Dracos the same way, putting them ski masks the same way. Because the dude who they look up to is doing that. He did that, he's making that much money, dang. So in order for me to make that much money, I need to do that. It's very simple. How the mind work.
Yeah, and black men created gangster culture, fed that to young black men in the neighborhood. And now every neighborhood and every black populated city is run by gangsters. All these young boys now, they just didn't want to grow up to be rocket scientists. They don't want to grow up to be chemists. They don't want to grow up to, study astrophysics or anything. They want to be rappers and gangsters because of the influence that black men knew what they were doing when they created these things to destroy the minds of the people. And we're not going to pussyfoot and dance around it. You guys can, because this is what you do. You throw the rocks and you hide your hands. You all created this nonsense. You created gangster culture, and with gangster culture is the sister of gangster culture, which is the pimp and hoe culture. So you all took out the young youth with your gangster culture. Now you're trying to take out the young women with the pimp and the hoe and the baby mama culture. You keeping the black woman down, having this little peanut head elf talking about it's okay to just have a baby with somebody without being married. Sowing instability and continually sowing instability in the black community through what you're doing with the black woman. And you all know how powerful that. There used to be a question, does art imitate life or does life imitate art? And I have to say that it is actually life that imitates art, especially in the black community. And they know this. They know all they got to do is put an image in front of you, and then you're going to emulate that image that you keep seeing in front of you. This woman, whatever her name is, Red Elf, Red Coochie, Brown Hole, whatever her name is, she's actually going into school throwing up gang signs because that's who she is. She is the hoe, and she is associated with known gang members. Known gang members run the rap industry. Now, the schools that invited this woman in to speak for the children, those schools need to be investigated immediately. But this is it. This is the black man. He shows you two different sides. He shows you this person here who's making sense, and then, but the other flip side, is the gangster rappers, the gangster and the pimps that are in the industry actually running shit. But they don't show you this person confronting the gangster and the rappers and the pimps that are running stuff. They don't show you confronting each other. Right? We wouldn't see him confronting the owner of a record label who have actually told these women that they have to perform and act like this because their contracts say so. We won't see that.
It operates as pictures. It's real simple. So the responsibility
And you know
of the
you're
artist
polite savages. Sometimes you get what you pay for, and you get what you ask for. So you got to watch what you ask for. Because my whole life I was told it was a patriarchy. Oh yeah, the patriarchy, they push women down to servitude. The patriarchy sexually exploited women. The patriarchy financially exploited women. But you fast forward to 2023, and you go on and look at X, which is Tumblr 2.0. And it's not the patriarchy putting these ads up, ladies. It's y'all. Every lady of every race, every size that we can be found, all races and sizes can be found with that OnlyHams. They can be found with that sugar baby site. They can be found with that rendezvous information and prices per se rendezvous. So is this a man doing this, or is that you? See, it's not the patriarchy who put you on that site. It's you. It's not the patriarchy who told you to exploit yourself. It's you. It's not the patriarchy that told you to shake what your mama gave you so you can get that money. It was you, because you have control over yourself. No man's telling you to do that, and if he is, he going straight to jail. So you've become what you despised.
They're not going straight to jail because they run the industry. You all black men run this the industry that is now showing these whores, actually whores, as the face of black womanhood. You all control that, and you control it legally. So here we are deflecting and saying that women are blaming the patriarchy for this and the blah, blah, blah. You have nothing to do with the patriarchy. You benefit from the patriarchy as black men. You don't run the patriarchy. But because you know you can do certain things under the patriarchy, and this is what you're doing, you're pimping your women, destroying the image of your mothers, your sisters, your future daughters. Because the patriarchy pays you to do that. Multi-billion-dollar industry that you are getting a big cut from. And these black women are not being paid what they should be paid for the way that you're using them to destroy the image of the black woman. You all ain't slick. You all created this disgusting culture. You intentionally do what you can to destroy black women's image every single day. And these plants, or I wouldn't even call them plants, they're just the latest of the gang ho pimp culture that is now in charge of black culture. Run by black men. Why don't you all confront those black men and what they're doing? What are they doing to destroy the culture? The rich culture that used to be black culture is now gang and pimp and hoe culture. That is now black culture. And that is now what's raising these children. So you're raising your young boys to be gangsters and serial baby fathers that don't take care of their kids, because if you take care of your kid, you're considered a simp for actually marrying a woman and taking care of your children. Then you're raising these women who think you don't need to be married to have children, or give your children a secure, safe foundation to grow up in. You can just go, you want to go get your coochie scratched tonight, go get get it scratched tonight by anybody. This is who you all black men are putting into the public domain as black culture. So don't try to get it twisted, trying to broaden it out to the patriarchy, because this has nothing to do with the major patriarchy. This has something to do with you and doing what you can to get your dollars. Because you're not really running anything, but you are running this area of what is black culture. But you all want to keep throwing rocks, creating these things, and then hiding your hands. Look at how she's acting. Without admitting that you are paying her to act that way. You are threatening her with legal action if she doesn't fulfill her contract that you roped her into. You all are doing it legally.
And what you put on men is now you.
If y'all women want to run around and sexually objectify yourself and brag about STDs and brag about having raw sex and bragging about your abortions and brag about how good you could twerk on and how you for money like a proc, go ahead. I'm not mad at y'all. But later on, when y'all want to have real qualitative conversations why certain groups of people are the least married and the biggest percentage of single moms and this and we shouldn't be that surprised. This is what's been pushed.
I do not represent y'all.
Yes, it's being pushed by black men who run the industry of these women with the music sector. Entertainment, I would say. They run the black entertainment sector. Okay? They're the ones pushing this. They may be paid by larger executives who may be white, but you are the ones selling out your own people, your own women, and their image to make a few dollars. So let's not get it twisted. You all are pushing out these women because you know that these women are ratchet. This is who they are. They are ratchet. Meg Stallion is ratchet. She says she's ratchet. Hood and classy. I don't know how you can be hood, ratchet, and classy at the same time, but whatever. She's beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Sukiana is beautiful as well. You all put these women out there knowing that they have questionable moral compasses. Knowing that they describe themselves as hoes and ratchet people. And this is the image that you all pay to broadcast globally of what the black woman is. Black culture today was created by the black man, just like black culture of yesterday. But black culture of yesterday at least made an attempt to make the black woman classy. Black culture of today have devolved into pimp and hoe gangster culture, and that is what has gone mainstream.
Represent yourself. I am not your representation. Y'all already was a mess. No, stop blaming me for y'all being looking a fool or looking bad. All y'all been looking bad already. I am not the reason that y'all look bad. I do not represent y'all. Y'all represent yourself. I am not your representation. Suki Hana is not nobody's representation.
She's an insane woman.
Now, This is the same bullshit Charles Barkley tried to play, but he did it and talking about I'm not your role model and all that stuff, which, you know, that's a whole different animal. But she is not that simple not to know that she holds the image of the typical black woman, her phenotype. Okay? So when black women travel outside of the country, or even black women in the country, they're now being looked on as someone as loose as this. And if you travel outside of the country, where people really don't come in contact with black women that often, this is who they're going to see as what a black woman is. She's not that stupid, but she has been planted and she's been paid to act this way. She's now fulfilling her contract. So she knows exactly what she's doing, and she's actively participating in it. I don't know what would have happened if she hadn't gone through with her contract. That's why she said she sold her soul to the devil, I guess. She has children, she has to feed her children, and she has to do these things in order to feed her kids, and in order to not be sued and everything get taken away from her, I guess, because she signed a contract without knowing what the hell she was signing. You all need to look into who actually owns these record contracts. And these are the people that are actively trying to destroy the black woman's image.
To grow in society, but her growth in society is bringing society and herself down.
But what do you say to them that say she's a terrible representation for black women? Stop posting her. She's disgusting.
If you, whatever you heard about me is the truth. People like to put a lot of expectations on me. I'm a hood girl. I'm trying to get my teeth stretched. I'm trying to get my teeth stretched and eat a we be eating yesterday in London.
Sukiyana, again, shut.
Here we go. And she knew what she was doing. She knew this would go viral. But again, she is being paid to be this person. Okay? She's being paid to destroy the public image of black women. So here she is in London, and this is what she goes viral for. And of course, these nuthead black men talking about, look at this, the black woman, look at her, look at how she has fallen, blah, 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 blah. What about the black man who is behind her, pushing her to fulfill her contract, to act out these disgusting ways that she's doing? Abroad, on international soil, this is the image of the black woman that she has given to London.
You sit here and you take up for Brittany Renner saying that things about body count, people should worry about their own self. Worry about your own self. You are sitting here saying the most disgusting things, and every time you go somewhere, you embarrass yourself. You embarrass us. You won't stop taking L's.
Music by women these days are supremely objectifying. They all send the same message to young women following it. Don't get mad when you see the very worst representations of that same image and that same ideology that's being pushed in your very face.
Hip-hop culture is influential and impactful to the overall Western society, but...
Okay, let's keep that same energy. Because even though they have signed contract, I believe that they also want to be these hoes. Because this is the pink booty hole lady. She's a gang member. Part of being gang culture is the whole lifestyle. So these are who they're plucking out of the gangster whole lifestyle, and they're putting them on the public arena, and this as a representation of the modern black woman. So these are probably who these people are. But now they're being paid to put this garbage on the world arena as a representation of the black woman. And behind all of these holes are black pimps. Paying them to do that, holding the contract, telling them that they need to do this. Because it is gang pimp culture after all. Them are my bitches, them are my hoes. They've been telling you about their bitches and hoes forever and a day. These are the bitches and the hoes that they're telling you about. This has now gone mainstream. Thank you, black man. Okay? Thank you for consistently destroying the image of the black woman. You destroyed your own image. Now you coming after ours. And I hope black women are smart enough to separate ourselves from these pimps and hoes and gang culture. I see a lot of you sitting here supporting Megan Thee Stallion. She's a part of that whole culture. Okay? Y'all sitting here, oh, she went with Beyonce. And Jay-Z's a part of that gang culture. Y'all better be careful who you let into your ears and into your head, because they're coming for you. They're coming for our image, and they want to destroy our image like they destroyed theirs.